all of you. I'm S.K. Kanodia. I am a scientist E, head of Service Sector Department 2, Bureau of Indian Standards. Shri Sanjay Panji, Deputy Director General, Standardization, BIS, eminent speakers of this webinar, and the delegates from different organizations joined online today and representing gym service sector. On behalf of Bureau of Indian Standards, I welcome all of you in this webinar on importance of standardization in gym services. I welcome Shri Sanjay Panji, Deputy Director General Standardization, and thank him for sparing time from his busy schedule to grace this event. I welcome all the eminent experts who are speakers in this in the technical session of this webinar, and thank them for their participation and contribution in this important event. Today we have with us Shri Gurneet Singh Dua, CEO, Fitness Sports Science Association Council, Mr. Suleiman Ali Khan, CEO Cloud Fitness, then Ms. Annie Thomas, CEO Nucleus Fitness Center, Mr. Tehseen Jahid, CEO Sports Physical Education, Fitness and Leisure Skill Council, and then our officer Shri D. Santosh, Scientist C, Bureau of Indian Standards and Member Secretary of Health, Fitness and Sports Services Sectional Committee, SSD 05. I understand that in the current busy life, people are conscious for most of the important asset of the life, that is our own health. People are now health conscious, and enthusiasm towards exercise as a daily routine is increasing day by day. Many of us go to gym for exercise, to stay fit or lose weight or lower the risk of many diseases. If I say that, we all go to gym, but why standardization is important or required in gym services? All leading gym service providers follow their own standard operating procedure, SOPs, in absence of any national document or a national standard. And the small gym in our locality may not be having even SOPs. Therefore, the services provided by the service providers of gym, that may vary from place to place and one gym center to another gym center. Here, the standard play a very important role and help us to standardize all important activities related to gym services and provide a uniform services to the people of the country. Apart from this, standard also provide information and knowledge on the best practices in this area that is being followed at national and international level. I take this forum to share with all of you that considering that gym services is a very important subject and affect many of us, BIS Sectional Committee on Health, Fitness and Sports Services, SSD 05, has taken the initiative and decided to prepare an Indian standard on requirements for gym services. And the expert of the committee have already started to prepare a working document on this. I'm very sure that some of the delegates attending this webinar have the expertise in the field of standardization in GEM services. The involvement of experts in standardization process is very important. It not only help us, to address and incorporate the best practices in formulating the standard, but also the standard which is prepared should be acceptable at national and probably at international level also. Therefore, I would request to the participating experts who have joined today from the gym centers or otherwise also, and the experts in the individual capacity who are interested to contribute in formulating this standard, they may approach BIS so that their expertise can be utilized in preparing this important Indian standard. Today, our experts on the panel would share various aspects related to the best practices being followed in gym services. Keeping in view the importance of the subject, this webinar is organized with the objectives to, create awareness about the importance of standardization in gym services, to provide an overview on the best global practices being followed in this area, and then the overview of the working document prepared so far on gym services. This document is being prepared in association with the FSSAA Council. Another objective is to identify the organizations and individuals having expertise in gym services who can contribute in making this standard. I hope this webinar would help all the stakeholders to understand various aspects of gym services and enrich our knowledge on the subject. With these words, I once again thank all of you for joining this event and wish this program successful. Thank you. Now, I would request our Deputy Director General, Standardization, Shri Sanjay Pantji, for his inaugural address, please. Shri Sanjay Pantji.
Thank you, Mr. Kurmaja. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you who have joined physically here and virtually for this webinar on the subject of importance of standardization in gym services. Just to share with all of you very briefly that we have been doing standards, BIS as a national standards body. तो BIS जो है बहुत 75 साल पुरानी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है और 21,500 से ज्यादा स्टैंडर्ड हमने बना लिए हैं और हमने वो सारे सेक्टर इकोनॉमी के जो है कवर कर लिए हैं सब कुछ। लेकिन जैसे हम स्टैंडर्ड बनाते हैं तो हमें पता चलता है कि अभी तो और बनाने हैं या और फील्ड इमर्ज होती है। तो ये क्या है, ये दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इवोल्यूशन ऑफ सोसाइटी। अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, स्टैंडर्ड हम बनाते क्यों हैं, व्हाई शुड वी मेक स्टैंडर्ड्स? देयर आर बुक्स, देयर आर जर्नल्स, देयर आर आर्टिकल, सब कुछ तो है दुनिया में। आप गूगल करोगे तो फिर मिलता है, फिर स्टैंडर्ड क्यों? कोई कहीं से पढ़ ले, कोई भी देख ले और सीख जाए। देयर आर पुराने जमाने में लोग खुद भी पढ़ लेते थे, घर में भी पढ़ लेते थे, तो फिर क्या स्टैंडर्ड की क्या जरूरत है? देखिए, अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ एनी काइंड ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड्स, हम स्टैंडर्ड बनाते क्यों हैं और स्टैंडर्ड्स की क्या जरूरत है? एक हमारे पास किताब है, आर्टिकल है, जर्नल है, और फिर स्टैंडर्ड क्यों? मतलब और टाइप के डॉक्यूमेंट क्यों बनाए? सबसे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंस ये है कि हमारा अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव है क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ। जब हम कहते हैं क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ, हम मानते हैं ह्यूमन लाइफ, एनिमल लाइफ, प्लांट लाइफ और एंटायर इकोलॉजी, सब कुछ ठीक रहे। कुछ भी ठीक नहीं होगा तो हम भी ठीक नहीं होंगे। प्लांट्स यदि नहीं होगा या फॉरेस्ट नहीं होंगे या एनिमल्स ठीक नहीं होंगे, ये इकोसिस्टम है तो हम भी ठीक नहीं है, हम उसका पार्ट है। ये जो धरती है वो खाली इंसान के नहीं है, ये सबकी है। और जो और हम उनमें से एक है, तो हमें सबको मिलके रहना है, यही एक हमें समझ है। और हमारी सोच धरती के तक जाती है, प्लेनेट तक जाती है, और देखेंगे तो फिर अंतरिक्ष तक जाएगी। तो हमारा जैसे समझ बढ़ती है तो हम इसको क्या करते हैं, हम उसको और इम्प्रूव करते हैं। what we do today is based on our limited understanding of today, and what we can see is futuristic। तो हमें और पता चलता है, फिर और पता चलता है तो हम अपने आप को करेक्ट करते हैं। आज जो हम कानून बनाते हैं वो आज के लिए कानून है, आज जो स्टैंडर्ड बनाते हैं वो आज के लिए ठीक है, लेकिन 10 साल बाद ये क्राइम हो जाएगा इस स्टैंडर्ड को फॉलो करोगे, क्योंकि हमारे पास नए स्टैंडर्ड आ गए होंगे और उसके हिसाब से ये स्टैंडर्ड ठीक नहीं होते हैं। तो इसका मतलब ये स्टैंडर्ड ठीक नहीं थे, ऐसा नहीं है। हमारी समझ बढ़ गई है और आज की जरूरत जो है बदल गई है। सो देयरफॉर स्टैंडर्ड्स इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मैकेनिज्म to say what should be the parameters and how we can improve our quality of life on this planet। तो स्टैंडर्ड्स जो है डायनेमिक होते हैं, और स्टैंडर्ड्स एक बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट मीडिया है, माध्यम है, जिससे हम क्या करते हैं, जो हमारा विजडम है, नॉलेज है, ज्ञान है, जो क्षमता है, उसको हम एक जगह डॉक्यूमेंट कर देते हैं। स्टैंडर्ड्स में, बुक्स में, आर्टिकल्स में ये क्या फर्क है? फर्क ये होता है कि वो कोई लिखता है, वो हो सकता है उसमें एक ऑथर की ओपिनियन हो, एक टाइप की ओपिनियन हो, एक समझ हो। ये स्टैंडर्ड्स जो होते हैं कंसेंसस के बेस पे बनाए जाते हैं, यानी सबकी जो है साझेदारी से समझ के बनाए जाते हैं, जिसमें सबके ओपिनियन होते हैं। एंड दूसरा क्या होता है, ये जैसे जैसे हमारी नॉलेज इंप्रूव होती है, ये हम इसको इंप्रूव करते चले जाते हैं, तो हमारा स्टैंडर्ड बनता है which is good today, which is futuristic for some more time, but then हम कुछ और सीखते हैं, then we revise the standard, we amend the standard। Therefore standards are some of the best tools available today worldwide to improve the quality of life, to document what are the best practices। अभी तक जो हम स्टैंडर्ड बनाते थे, नॉर्मली हम प्रोडक्ट्स के बनाते हैं कि ये फर्नीचर है, ये ग्लास है, ये माइक है, ये फूड आइटम है, तो ये क्या हो, जो हमारी हेल्थ के लिए ठीक हो, हमारे काम करने के लिए ठीक हो। मैं इस टेबल के आगे बैठता हूं तो मेरे पीठ में दर्द तो नहीं होता है, क्या इसकी चेयर की हाइट को ऊपर नीचे किया जा सकता है, इज इट सुटेबल, एर्गोनॉमिकली है कि नहीं है? तो ये प्रोडक्ट है, तो लेकिन चेक कैसे करेंगे? इसके टेस्ट होते हैं। फिर अब हम परफॉर्मेंस टेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि आप लकड़ी का फर्नीचर बना लो, लोहे का बना लो, प्लास्टिक का बना लो, उनको मिक्स करके बना लो, और पॉलीमेरिक मटेरियल का बना लो, कैसा भी बना लो, you can achieve the same performance in terms of comfort in seating, able to rotate and perform your duties without harming your body or body structure। तो हम परफॉर्मेंस स्टैंडर्ड्स पे जा रहे हैं हम। लेकिन ये अलग, ये बिल्कुल अलग डोमेन है जिसके आज हम बात कर रहे हैं, वो है सर्विसेज। सर्विसेज पे, क्योंकि अब हम जो खासतौर पे जो भारतवर्ष के लिए है, इंडिया इज ए पायनियर इन प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विसेज ऑफ ऑल सॉर्ट्स, and therefore BIS is now has embarked upon a very wide exercise on development of standards on services sector। इसमें we already have 20 sectional committee, technical committee, so 20 broad areas have been identified। in 20 broad areas of services there are further areas on which sub areas on which, so there are hundreds of areas on which today standards are being made, and thanks to Mr. Kanodia, his team, and we have another department, SSD1 also, this is SSD2, service sector department 1 also, and Mr. Sanjay Goswami and his team। So we are day in day out working on services sector, because ultimately even products are used to deliver services। अल्टीमेटली हम चाहते हैं, जो हमें सेवाएं मिले वो ठीक हो, चाहे वो हेल्थ के लिए हो, चाहे फिटनेस के लिए हो, चाहे और कोई बैंकिंग के लिए हो, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज हो, एनी काइंड ऑफ सर्विसेज। ऑन द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ दिस हेल्थ एंड फिटनेस, ये बड़े इंटररिलेटेड सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, स्पोर्ट्स, हेल्थ, फिटनेस, जिम, these are all। So we have a dedicated section committee, as Mr. Kanoja has mentioned, health, fitness and sports services section committee, SSD5। So we number them, and these numbers are eternal number। These numbers with the document are published at the back side of each standard also. तो SSD 5 now we are thinking as to SSD 5 में standard कैसे develop किया. तो health, fitness and sports services. तो इसमें gym कहाँ से आया? तो fitness part है, health part है. So these are quite interrelated. Can we achieve health through gym services? And can we achieve fitness? Is it a type of sports, or it is cannot be categorized as sport? So who will decide what is what? So there has to be a sort of set of standards or guidelines that we should go. So we are developing standards on the aspects of safety in educational institution, on community sports, including in academics level or professional level. We are working on development of standardization on yoga centers, service requirements. We are working on healthcare organization management, on the requirement of patient-centered staffing. That is also healthcare. And another area, important area, which we will talk today is gym services. Now, जो जिम सर्विसेज का जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, आई हैव लिमिटेड अंडरस्टैंडिंग, बट व्हाट आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाई जिम सर्विसेज, व्हाई जिम एट ऑल. You know, you have sports, you have so many things, but we know, as we say in Hindi, एक स्वस्थ शरीर में स्वस्थ मस्तिष्क का वास होता है, और we have a sound and healthy mind only in a sound and healthy body. So it is these are interconnected. And there is a lot of research and work that has shown that the health of a person and his mind, health of mind is interconnected. So this has to be understood, and it increases our capacity to deliver services. जो हम काम कर रहे हैं, if you are healthy, so it is that is very important. And these gym services are one of the services which are there to avail the services towards shaping our body and therefore shaping our mind also. That's what I understand. But then there are instances of freak accidents which have happened. And then there can be some gym services which are very good. Then there can be another. So one gets little into doubt as to whether gym at all is good or not. And therefore, it is very important to document what are good practices for providing a good quality of gym services. And if there are question of side effects, gym may be good, but then over exercising will have its own bad effect, the way it has to be done. Then there have to be people who are themselves trained to guide others for this gym activity. And then what should be the level of training, and what kind of equipment that should have, which is correct for correct posture, to provide the right kind of strengthening that we expect out of the gym services. And therefore, the standards, as we have talked, it has therefore quite important responsibility to develop a sort of a standard, of a group of standards where we can control all these aspects. So that we can say, once we follow these standards, we are assured of, you follow through standardization or voluntarily, it is a different matter. But then we are assured of that if one follows this thing, somebody is trained like this thing, and services are given like this thing, and therefore the gym would be of right quality, and therefore it will be of productive in nature, the way it has been intended, rather than counterproductive and create a situation. And standard, as I mentioned, these standards, I would try to briefly tell, but one more thing is standards evolve. आज हम एक ड्राफ्ट बनाते हैं स्टैंडर्ड का, एक मसौदा तैयार करते हैं, और जैसे मिस्टर कनौज जी ने बनाया कि पहला ड्राफ्ट बन गया है, लेकिन ये ड्राफ्ट इवॉल्व होगा, हमारी समझ बढ़ेगी, हम इसको डिस्कस करेंगे. तो स्टैंडर्ड बनाने का तरीका यही है कि जो हमने सोचा है कि इसमें क्या क्या कंटेंट होना चाहिए, ट्रेनिंग पार्ट होना चाहिए, नहीं होना चाहिए, ट्रेनिंग के लिए सेपरेट होना चाहिए, जो जिम ट्रेनर्स हैं उनके लिए होना चाहिए, फूड सप्लीमेंट आना चाहिए या नहीं आना चाहिए, तो उसके लिए क्या प्रोविजंस होने चाहिए. एंड सिमिलरली जो जिम की जो कैटेगरीज हैं वो अलग अलग भी हो सकती हैं. क्या क्या जिम कैन हैव मेनी टाइप ऑफ सर्विसेज, मेनी टाइप ऑफ इक्विपमेंट. शुड वी control all of them in one standard, or we should have a separate set of standards? जिम के लेवल अलग अलग हो सकते हैं. कैन वी हैव वन काइंड ऑफ जिम जिसमें ये सब हो तो जिम है, और या फिर ऐसा भी जिम हो सकता है, वैसा भी जिम हो सकता है, और थर्ड कैटेगरी का भी हो सकता है, तो हम कराएंगे। तो फिर उसमें हम वो दे कैन डिक्लेयर कि वी हैव जिम कैटेगरी 1, this is 2 and 3, 1 is suitable for this, 2 is suitable for this. All these things are possible. I think it's a very good initiative by Mr. Kanoja and his team that we have taken up this webinar. With this webinar, we will be able to get feedback of many experts, and many experts would be attracted to this document. Another last thing I would like to say is that documentation is again an art, and how to write standards. So it also, I will encourage all of you to develop a sort of temperament for writing standards. And now we have started, it will be a perpetual exercise. ये अगले 50 साल 100 साल चलेगी ये एक्सरसाइज। तो हमें अपना लिखना आएगा दुनिया में, और हम देशों में यही फर्क आ जाता है कई बार कि वी आर नॉट एबल टू राइट अवर ओन स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन सच एरियाज। अदर्स आर राइटिंग, there are experts who have been writing for 30 years. So we have to develop our own people. Human resource potential is a great potential that we have. We have to develop in this field also in writing standard. लिखना भी है हमें, जो हमें अच्छा आता है और हमारे साथ चले गया तो वो जनता के समाज के काम नहीं आया। जो हमें अच्छा आता है हम उसको लिख देंगे तो वो सबके काम आएगा। तो I would encourage all of you to start writing all the good practices that you have understood through your experience or through your training, and that will utilize. I once again I welcome all of you to this webinar. SSD 2 has already had a series of document, maybe 10th or 12th seminar already in a series. So I welcome Shri Gurneet Singh Duaji, CEO of Fitness Sports Science Association Council, Suleiman Ali Khan ji, Ms. Annie Thomas, and Mr. Tahsin Zahid, and my own officers who are contributing to this event, Kanoja Saab, Mr. Dharmsan Sot Santosh ji, Scientist C, and Member Secretary of this committee, who is working very hard to develop these standards, and our other officers who are contributing to the success of this event. Thank you once again, and wish all the best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanjay Panji. And thanks once again for sharing different aspects of standardization with all of us. Thank you, sir. Now, I would request Mr. Shivam Soni, Scientist B, Bureau of Indian Standards, to proceed further for technical session. Mr. Soni.
Thank you so much, sir. Before starting the technical session, I request all the speakers to turn on their camera for a moment so that we can have a screenshot. Thank you so much. First, I would like to welcome Shri Gurneet Singh Dua to enlighten us about the present scenario of gym industry and need for standardization for gym services. Mr. Dua is the founder and CEO of FSSA Council. As the highest ranking official in the company, his primary responsibilities include making major corporate decisions, managing the overall operations and resources of FSSA Council, and being the public face of the company. He is also one of the key members in Health, Fitness and Sports Services SSD 05 committee for development of national standards on gym management and fitness professionals and exercise facilities. He completed his post-graduation MSc from University of West of England, Bristol, in UK, where he also had the opportunity to work with the prestigious National Health Services NHS during his internship. He has a total experience of 20 years in health and fitness industry. Also, he has a total experience of around 11 years in teaching and delivering workshops. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Check. Right. Before I start, before I even introduce, or before I even thank Bureau of Indian Standards team for inviting me here, 2015 में एक मिनिस्टर साहब ने जिम बेस्ड एक लॉ निकाला था जिसमें ये बोला गया था, and I quote, opening a gym in India is as easy as opening a kirana store. In 2022, 7 years later, nothing has changed. It's either as easy or perhaps easier than opening a kirana store. 10 waves हमने कोरोना के अपने सामने देखी, starting from March, April 2020. Right now, apparently, we are in the third wave of COVID in India, where we are facing issues with the Omicron variant. In the last 2 years, I think one of the industries which has been most badly affected, I think, has been the gym and the fitness industry, and we all know that. Third, education-wise, I would also like to point out, in 2022, and I travel a lot as I deliver workshops, as I deliver presentations, as I'm invited as a chief guest or a guest to so many seminars, so many webinars, so many training programs that I head with my team. The standard practice still in a gym, I'm talking now education and trainers competence wise, is that आप एक किसी भी जिम में चले जाइए, एक एवरेज जिम में चले जाइए, एक अबव एवरेज जिम में चले जाइए, मंडे को, और हम इसको जिम इंडस्ट्री में थोड़ा मजाक बना के कहते हैं, मंडे को आप देखेंगे कि क्लाइंट को चेस्ट करवा रहे होंगे, ट्यूसडे को कोई और बॉडी पार्ट, एंड फाइनली एंडिंग विद लेग्स ऑन सैटरडे. This is a joke on the fitness industry for people who understand and who go to gym on a regular basis. The point is, we are lacking education-wise. The point is, we are lacking a common, unified, non-biased body-wise. We are lacking awareness-wise. We are lacking infrastructure-wise. We are lacking structure-wise, standards-wise. My name is Gurneet Singh Dua. I am the CEO and founder of FSSA Council. And now I formally would like to thank Mr. Kanodia, Sri Pant, and the entire Bureau of Indian Standards team for inviting me here. I was lucky, living in Delhi, born and brought up in Delhi, that I could be here with my team today. I have been invited to speak on predominantly two aspects of standardization. But the point is, जितने भी लोग इस टाइम हमें सुन रहे हैं या इस रिकॉर्डिंग को बाद में देखेंगे, we hope that this message will reach to thousands and thousands of people across the Indian fitness industry. Standards हैं क्या? जो मेरे ट्रेनर फ्रेंड्स हैं या जो मेरे कोचेस मुझे सुन रहे हैं या जो जिम ओनर्स हैं, what are standards? Standards basically mean minimum best minimum practices. कि कम से कम एक ट्रेनर की पढ़ाई इतनी तो होनी चाहिए. कम से कम एक जिम में ये बेसिक चीजें होनी चाहिए या इन बेसिक चीजों का ध्यान रखा जाना चाहिए. And we are not just talking equipment wise. There are some more basics which are even lesser than having equipment in a gym. Things like health and safety, things like clients' needs, things like clients' goals, things like aim क्या है, क्या client को अपना value for money मिला, things like pricing, things like basic dignity of a client, things like professionalism towards a client. Equipment अभी बहुत दूर की बात है. अभी तो हम बेस्ट मिनिमम प्रैक्टिसेस की बात कर रहे हैं. श्री संजय पंत जी ने और कनौजिया साहब ने बोला कि विद द लिमिटेड नॉलेज. आप देखिए ये दोनों जेंटलमैन, दे डोंट इवन बिलोंग टू द फिटनेस इंडस्ट्री और द जिम इंडस्ट्री, बट as an educated individuals, they know what are the issues that could arise in the fitness and the gym industry. Even they knew that there are gyms mushrooming all over the every nook and corner of the country. इन gyms को हमारी भाषा में mom and pop gyms कहा जाता है. Mom and pop gyms, colloquially, casually, इनको mom and pop gyms कहा जाता है. एक भी खोल लिया, दो भाइयों ने मिलकर स्टार्ट कर लिया, दो दोस्तों ने मिलकर स्टार्ट कर लिया. कोई लाइसेंस नहीं चाहिए, कोई सर्टिफिकेट नहीं चाहिए, कोई एफिलिएशन नहीं चाहिए, कोई एक्रेडिटेशन नहीं चाहिए. हर स्टेट के शायद कुछ अपने लॉज हैं. कोई हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी की प्रैक्टिसेस नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि चेक कौन कर रहा है? वेयर इज द ओम्बड्समैन? वेयर इज द फियर ऑफ गॉड? देयर इज नथिंग, देयर इज नो वन. कहीं भी खोलिए, जगह होनी चाहिए, जुनून होना चाहिए, कुछ भी इक्विपमेंट डाल लीजिए, सर्टिफिकेट के नाम पे पीछे कुछ भी टांग दीजिए. कौन सा क्लाइंट को पता है? ऑनलाइन एक ट्रेनर का कोर्स 3 घंटे में 500 रुपए में मिल जाता है. आई रिपीट, ऑनलाइन एक ट्रेनर का कोर्स 3 घंटे और 500 रुपए में मिल जाता है. No wonder we are lacking in every sphere, in every aspect of this. So let me now start with exactly what is the situation, the current scenario. Number one, the current scenario is कि लोगों का शौक बढ़ता जा रहा है. Lot of campaigns have come in. श्री मोदी जी के अंदर अभी फिट इंडिया लॉन्च हुआ था 2019 में, where a lot of people started taking up yoga. Suddenly, people wanted to leave their sedentary lifestyle, and people there were open community gyms all over the place, at least in Delhi, and I've seen, I think, in Pune also. So awareness तो बढ़ती जा रही है, but it's not the right kind of awareness. There are not enough skilled manpower. There is not enough skilled manpower to handle all these clients, whether at a colony level, at a gym or a studio level, or as to train them as professionals. So the first point of the current scenario is there is not enough skilled manpower. जो लोग skilled भी हैं, there are a lot of advantages. See, I have been a part of the industry from the aspect that I am a gym goer also, and from the aspect that I'm helping Bureau of Indian Standards, and not just Bureau of Indian Standards, I'm a consultant to several international bodies also to help them write standards and to help them make certain best practices. बात स्किल्ड मैन पावर की नहीं है. स्किल्ड मैन पावर एक चीज है. आपने देखा होगा जब आप एक फिजियोथेरेपी के प्रोफेशन में होते हैं, या डॉक्टरी के प्रोफेशन में होते हैं, या डेंटिस्ट्री के प्रोफेशन में होते हैं, वहां भी आपको एनकरेज किया जाता है छोटे छोटे कोर्सेज लेने के लिए, कॉन्फ्रेंसेस पे जाने के लिए. आपको आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे करती है, या आपको एनकरेज किया जाता है. हमारे जिम इंडस्ट्री में आप एक बार सर्टिफिकेट ले आइए, उस पर अगर लिखा भी रहता है वैलिडिटी, वो वैलिडिटी इसलिए लिखी रहती है ताकि आप उस सर्टिफिकेट को कुछ और कॉन्फ्रेंसेस करके, कुछ और एजुकेशन लेके, कुछ और पॉइंट्स लेके उसको आप रिन्यू कर सकें. And I think we all know it. 80 to 85% of the trainers don't even bother. Issues तो कई सारे. अगर skilled manpower है भी, तो उनके जो सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं, जो प्रोफेशनल क्वालिफिकेशंस हैं, they are not either up to date, they are not from recognized or affiliated or accredited institutes, they are not current, they are not even professional qualifications. I'll give you an example. All it takes to become a trainer or a coach these days, एक उदाहरण मैं दे चुका हूं आपको. ऑनलाइन जाइए, एक वेबसाइट पे 500 रुपया दीजिए और आपको 3 घंटे बाद एक 20 मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस करके आपको एक सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा. Is this what we really want for the nation, for the society? And if you think this is a joke, or if you think this is to be taken lightly, let me give you an example, perhaps जो आपके शायद रूह को छू जाएगा. If people who are parents here, imagine आप अपने बच्चे को एक ऐसे डॉक्टर के पास लेके जाएं जिसने ऑनलाइन पढ़ाई करी हो. Why don't we self-reflect? जिसने ऑनलाइन पढ़ाई करी हो, जिसका आप पीछे डिग्री देखें तो लिखा होगा कि डिग्री 4 साल पहले एक्सपायर हो चुका है. How would you feel then? Would you feel confident? Would you feel comfortable going to that kind of a doctor, or that kind of a physical therapist, or that kind of a dentist? I don't need to wait for your answers. It's a rhetorical question. Of course not. You wouldn't feel confident. Now imagine if you are sending your wife or yourself or your brother or your parents to a professional who is not qualified, who is not skilled, who does not have valid and current and updated qualifications or certificates. How would you feel? First point, the skilled manpower aspect. The second point is, she mentioned किया था, the facilities. Technically speaking, कुछ भी हो रहा है, because there is no fear of God. India is a nation. हम लोग economics, I'm an economics student. हम लोग economics में पढ़ते थे. Disparity of income India जैसे nations में और Africa जैसे nations में बहुत high है. सामने बंगलोस खड़े हैं और यहाँ पे लोगों के पास खाने तक के लिए पैसे नहीं हैं. Disparity. The disparity, ये जो gap है, ये कम होना चाहिए था. ये जो disparity है, ये Western countries में कम है. मैंने वहां पे प्लम्बर से लेके, टीचर से लेके, मिनिस्टर से लेके सारे एक ही रेस्टोरेंट में साथ बैठ के खाना खा सकते हैं. सबकी अफोर्डेबिलिटी से है, इनकम ग्रुप सेम है, इतना ज्यादा डिस्पैरिटी नहीं है, ना एजुकेशन में और ना आमदनी में, इनकम में. So India is again, there is a problem that there is so much disparity, and not just in money, that is of course one aspect, in cultural backgrounds, in education, in understanding of things, in implementing of things, there is just disparity. So gyms are no different. There are mom and pop gyms, there are big, huge multinational chains. एक एवरेज जिम की को खोलना करीब 2.5 से 3 करोड़ की लागत है एक टियर 2 सिटी में. टियर 2 सिटी मींस एक छोटी सिटी लाइक जयपुर इंस्टेड ऑफ अ बिग सिटी लाइक बैंगलोर और न्यू दिल्ली. इट्स एन इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफ 2.5 to approximately 3 crores और रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट करीब ऑन एन एवरेज 4 से 4.5 से 5 साल बाद आना शुरू होता है. Who do you think would get into the gym industry if this is the return on investment which comes after 4 to 5 years और जिसमें 2.5 से 3 करोड़ की लागत रहती है एक जिम में? Of course, people who have a lot of money. Let me tell you who will have a lot of money. They could be businessmen. They could be builders. These are the most common people who own big franchisee gyms or who own big gym chains in the country. And the question is, they just want their return on money. They just want their return on investment. They may be giving you the best possible equipment, but like Mr. Sanjay Panji pointed out, are there any qualified professionals? What is the point of a 5 lakh treadmill if there is not a trained professional who can teach the client to handle that treadmill or to handle the right kind of biomechanics of an exercise or to show the right kind of technique or to perform CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, using an AED or otherwise also. अगर किसी क्लाइंट को कोई स्ट्रोक होता है, किसी क्लाइंट को कुछ हार्ट अटैक आता है, आप हर कॉर्पोरेट में देखेंगे कंपल्सरी हो गया है, हर मॉल में एक एईडी लगा रहता है. So current scenario is very grim, but all is not lost. Humans have to hope, humans have to evolve, and humans have to move on, and that's how we have always progressed in the society. Current scenario, आपके जितने भी trained professionals हैं, प्रिस्क्रिप्शन उनको मना नहीं, उनको अलाउड नहीं है. प्रिस्क्रिप्शन मतलब वो सिर्फ एक्सरसाइज प्रिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं, एक्सरसाइज प्रोग्रामिंग जो आप ट्रेनर लोग जानते हैं करना, वो भी आप लोगों की अप टू डेट कई लोगों की नहीं है, जिसका मैंने एक एग्जांपल लिया मजाक बना के कि मंडे को चेस्ट करवाते हैं, ट्यूसडे को बाइसेप ब्ला 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 और सैटरडे को लेग्स. द पॉइंट इज जब क्लाइंट्स के गोल्स एक जैसे नहीं है, जब क्लाइंट्स की इंजरीज एक जैसी नहीं है, जब क्लाइंट्स के मेडिकल बैकग्राउंड्स एक जैसे नहीं है, then how can one size fit all? Does it sound right to you? Of course not. And I'm not waiting for any answers. आप एक एवरेज ट्रेनर किसी को फिजिकल थेरेपी की एडवाइस दे रहे हैं, एक डॉजी शेडी ट्रेनर अंडर द टेबल सप्लीमेंट्स बेच रहे हैं. बड़े शहरों में होता था करीब 5 साल पहले तक, हर छोटे शहर के जिम में आपको सिरिंजेस दिखेंगी. हर बड़े छोटे शहर के जिम्स में आपको डस्टबिन में सिरिंजेस दिखेंगी. What are people doing? What are trainers prescribing? And not any educated, responsible, ethical trainer would go out of his scope of practice to either prescribe supplementation or to prescribe steroids or any kind of medicine or any kind of physical therapy program. So the situation is in fact, one would think should become better from 2015 जब हमने बात सुनी थी कि opening a gym is as easy as opening a kirana store. But I personally feel, I think the situation is frankly worse. It's gotten worse. 2 दिन का कोई प्रोग्राम करके ट्रेनर, कोई कॉर्पोरेट में एक वर्कशॉप करके ट्रेनर, कोई ऑनलाइन सर्टिफिकेट लेके ट्रेनर, तो कोई अपनी बॉडी बना के इंस्टाग्राम या सोशल मीडिया पे ट्रेनर. ऐसे तो हमने कभी नहीं सुना था कि बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस फॉलो होती हैं, कि आपके जो मन में आ रहा है आप कर रहे हैं, कहीं पे भी जिम खुल रहा है विदाउट एब्सोल्युटली एनी रिगार्ड फॉर क्लाइंट्स लाइफ और क्लाइंट्स नीड्स. कोई लॉज नहीं है, कहीं पे कोई डिस्प्यूट सेटल करने के लिए कोई बॉडी नहीं है. क्लाइंट ने बेचारे ने बोला, आज तक हमने नहीं सुना कि कभी क्लाइंट की कभी किसी जिम ने सुनी हो. I'm not anti-gym. I'm a representation of the gyms. But the point is, we need to ensure and we need to understand that client is God after all. I mean, customer is God after all. Why don't we have standards? Why don't we have a body? Why don't we have a representation? And this representation can only happen once there are standards. It's very simple. It's all interconnected. For the Indian fitness and gym industry to become standardized and to become an organized sector बनेगा, investment आएगी. अभी लोग डरते हैं. और डरेंगे क्यों नहीं? सोचिए अगर 3 बार किसी ने अपना जिम खोलने की कोशिश करी हो पिछले 2 सालों में, आई डोंट नीड टू रिमाइंड यू कि अगर दिल्ली जैसे शहर में खोला हो तो उसका क्या हशर हुआ होगा. 3 बार अगर सोचिए अगर किसी ने जिम खोलने की कोशिश करी हो, एंड इमेजिन अगर उसके साथ कोई बेचारा इन्वेस्टर हो. हाँ सर खोलते हैं. पहली बार जिम खोला, जिम बंद. दूसरी बार थोड़ा सा बिजनेस हुआ, जिम बंद. तीसरी बार होने लगा था, कई स्टेट्स में 50% कैपेसिटी में जिम्स खुल गए हैं, दिल्ली में जिम्स बंद. नॉट अबाउट दिल्ली. Point is, no representation of the gyms and fitness industry. Till date, we have been clubbed under sports. Till date, and it's an important point, we have been clubbed under sports. We are not sports person like Mr. Sanjay Pant pointed out. No, we are exercise professionals. That is the word that belongs to me as an academy owner and to you. We are first exercise professionals. Where is our representation? The representation will come from the fact when there are standards for exercise professionals, whether facility or whether as qualified professionals. And this is what all of us, all the industry stakeholders like you, me, academy owners, thousands and thousands of professionals, gym goers, fitness enthusiasts, and fitness franchisee owners, gym owners, we need to come together and obviously do this. This is a humongous task ahead of us. But eventually it could be a win-win for all. And let me remind you, the industry, as I've mentioned earlier, is worth several hundred or perhaps 1,000 crores. And it still remains largely one of the most crude, unregulated and unstructured and unorganized in the country. We are not bodybuilders. Mind you, ये statement बोल के मैं आपको यकीन दिलाना चाहता हूँ कि I have nothing against bodybuilding, but the point is we are exercise professionals and it is high time that exercise professionals get their own standards through which we get more representation, through which we become more organized and we move on from here. Coming now to the fact that how will this standardization help? Would it help? Could it really help is the question. The point is कितना आसान है कि आपने पड़ोसी को देखा और आपने उसे बोल दिया, अरे देखो ना इसने बाहर लिटर कर दिया, घर के बाहर कचरा फेंक दिया. कितना जल्दी ह्यूमन माइंड दूसरे को गलतियां पकड़ता है. अरे देखो देखो कार का शीशा नीचे करके वो देखो कूड़ा फेंक रहा है, कूड़ा फेंक रही है. एंड यू डोंट रियलाइज 10 मिनट बाद आप कार का शीशा नीचे करके कुछ फेंक रहे होंगे. आपने करा तो ठीक, दूसरे वाले ने करा तो क्राइम. स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन की जरूरत क्या है और कैसे लागू होगा इतने बड़े देश में जहां पे इतनी डिस्पैरिटी. So the first point or the first most important aspect of standardization is self-check. Self-check. जितना मर्जी आपको कोई जोर जबरदस्ती कर ले, वैक्सीन आप तभी लगवाए जब आपको लगवानी थी. कूड़ा तभी रुकेगा देश में जब आप लोग खुद कूड़ा फेंकने बंद करेंगे. It's as simple as that. And this is the most important aspect of standardization. Self-check. Do we have that self-check? As a professional, आप कभी अगर हमारे ऑफिस आए, आज मैं एक अकेडमी ओनर बन चुका हूँ. I no longer train people. I have stopped training people 10 years ago. But मेरे सारे सर्टिफिकेट्स और मेरे पास कई दसियों में हैं, आज भी सारे वैलिड हैं, करंट हैं, अप टू डेट हैं. बिकॉज इट्स सेल्फ चेक. मुझसे किसने पूछना है आके कि अरे सर आपका भी सर्टिफिकेट आप रिन्यू करवाते हो हर 2 साल में? अरे क्यों नहीं करवाएंगे? करवाना चाहिए. सेल्फ चेक है. मैं किस बेसिस पे यहाँ पे आके आप लोगों को एनकरेज करूंगा अगर मैं खुद एक उदाहरण नहीं बन सकता? सो इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड्स हियर. the document on. Standardization का पहला फायदा जो हमें लगता है आ सकता है, across the country, we exercise professionals, fitness professionals, and the gym owners will be able to provide highest quality of service, and it's high time that the clients get this. I think the second advantage we could get from standardization of the gym services in India is, I think, the entire image of the gym and fitness industry would change. I think एक शीन आ जाएगी जब एक structured और एक organized sector बन जाएगा. So definitely the image of the industry would change. Third point, जैसा कि मैंने अभी पहले बोला 5 मिनट पहले, अगर ये organized sector बनेगा, there would be blatant more investments coming in from all walks of life, which is important. Investment भी आएगी और आप लोगों को grow करने के लिए आपको लोन्स भी जल्दी मिलेंगे, सही किस्म के लोन्स मिलेंगे, सही इंटरेस्ट रेट पे मिलेंगे. Banks will be more confident in giving you the right kind of business loan if it becomes an organized sector. Of course, as earlier pointed out, just minimum practices follow होंगी, तो हमेशा सबका फायदा रहा है, whether it's a gym goer, whether it's a client, whether it's a gym owner, और कहीं ना कहीं हम सब exercise professionals with some investment, we will gain a lot of knowledge, and the knowledge will eventually transfer into some kind of skill, and the future of the country is only skilled youth and skilled manpower. Clients, it's high time, should know their rights, और ये तभी पॉसिबल होगा जब स्टैंडर्ड्स होंगे, जब एक कहीं वेबसाइट पे जाके क्लाइंट देख सकता है कि अगर जिम ने या किसी सेंटर ने कुछ ऐसा करा है जहां पे वो आवाज उठाना चाहें, अपने कंज्यूमर राइट्स को प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहें, तो क्लाइंट्स भी जाके जिम के सामने अपनी बात रख सकते हैं कि नहीं देखिए ये जो हुआ मेरे साथ ये गलत था, and I would like to take action. And once the gyms would know, or the gym owners would know that the clients know their rights, even they would be more willing to understand the situation and to resolve the conflict in the most appropriate manner. The service providers like gyms will become more ethical, they will become more transparent, the policies will be, like I said, more transparent for everyone to follow, whether it's the client or whether it's the gym management. Appropriate pricing का ये मतलब नहीं है कि अगर किसी जिम ने 5 करोड़ की इन्वेस्टमेंट लगाई है और किसी जिम ने 40 लाख की इन्वेस्टमेंट लगाई है तो दोनों जिम्स एक साथ एक जैसा चार्ज करेंगे. अप्रोप्रिएट प्राइसिंग का मतलब ये है कि अगर एक सर्टेन प्रकार का, एक सर्टेन टाइप का, एक सर्टेन साइज का जिम है, तो सारे जिम्स उस साइज के या उस प्रकार के सिमिलर प्रकार की प्राइसिंग फॉलो करें, based on their skill, based on their manpower, and based on their equipment. There will be no misleading information which will be given out to the clients, of course, making it more ethical. There would be more professionalism which would set in the industry. The trainers or the exercise professionals would become more educated, ethical, responsible, and more credible. Facilities will become more responsible, and eventually equipment will come into play, and the equipment will become much better, and shady practices and shady trainers and dodgy equipment will be put an end to. And once again, the most important point, that there will be a common representation of the gym industry once these standards are made, जिस पे भी काम शुरू हो चुका है, the Coalition of Exercise Professionals of India. I'm very happy to be a part of that also. And I think this is what we all need to work together. Like I said, it's a humongous task, and eventually in the next 4 to 5 years, hopefully when we will be doing this webinar or in Better Time seminar, you would realize that being a part of such a wonderful opportunity by BIS and being a part of such wonderful platform or standards by BIS, it can change the landscape of the entire industry, and it will, and I'm very confident, and I'm very happy and obliged to be working with Bureau of Indian Standards. With that, thank you very much for listening in, and thank you, BIS, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such insightful words and to make us aware about the present scenario of gym industry. Next, I would like to welcome Mr. Suleiman Ali Khan, Mr. Khan is CEO of Cloud Fitness, handling all the businesses related to business development, partnerships and business tie-ups, procurement, designing SOPs, recruitment, and other regulatory responsibilities. He is also managing director of Stay Fit Fitness Club, Dubai, UAE. Over to you, sir. Mr. Khan.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm clear. I mean, everybody can hear me?
Yes, sir. Carry on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I want to thank you all for this opportunity, given to me to speak at this seminar and be part of this eminent panel. I want to thank Mr. Dua and, Bureau of Indian Standards for inviting me to speak here. I'm glad and hoping to see the Coalition of Exercise Professionals of India with Bureau of Indian Standards coming forward to lead the standardization of gym services. Just a bit about my background. I have been in fitness since 1990. My experience includes, training, business development, managing, establishing fitness centers, both in India and United Arab Emirates. I'm well versed with industry standards, fitness industry standards. I have done certifications from reputed, international institutions. With this, I understand and emphasize the importance of standardization of gym services in India. Coming down to the subject I have been given, global perspective of standardization in gym services. Belonging to belonging to industry, which is serving people's health and fitness. Fitness services have no meaning without standardization. Standardization have been long overdue in health and fitness industry. It's a right step in the right direction being taken by CEPI and PIS. Standardization, it can be a very important process in the development and improvisation of gym services, as Mr. Dua has spoken earlier. Standardization benefit is not limited to the business, operators, but it can also benefit the clients. It's, the important step towards better tariffs. We can, have this can be taken as an important step towards better tariffs and, and client satisfaction. Bringing in global perspective, all departments of gym services should come under the purview of standardization. Naming a few of them here: training, equipment, accessories, gym area, hygiene, facilities, etc. By training here, I mean we need to ensure the services are provided through certified exercise professionals from reputed organizations. And by equipment here, I mean we need to set the standards for equipment safety, ensuring safe installations, location, and condition of the equipment. By accessories, I mean standards to be set for accessories safety, like the professionals, they know barbells, dumbbells, ropes, jump boxes, belts, grips, etc. Gym area here, by gym area, I mean, we need to ensure the floors are clear and, there is no, the hazard, this thing, what you call, signs are there in case of any, this thing, what you call, hazardous, locations, are there. And then we need to ensure that studio safety also is maintained by abiding, to the standards. Hygiene provisions to be standardized for health, for the health of, for the clients and, staff health. Like, bringing in, what experience we have from Dubai, we are regularly, inspected on, with the safety, hygiene, standards there. They come and they check, that we are providing sanitization. Are we doing regular sanitizations or not? How, what is the condition of floor? How, dusty or how clean, the area is maintained, etc., etc. So then when I'm talking about facilities safety, I mean here by, having, as Mr. Dua has emphasized, okay, the provision of first aid, availability of AED, safety of the other facilities like steam rooms, washrooms, accessibility, ensuring safe entry and exit arrangements for members and staff in case of God forbid any emergencies. We need to ensure that there is a proper exit to from the facility. And we were talking about the grading of services based on the standards which they are following. Okay, so they can be graded as silver, gold, platinum based on the standards they are following. And when we look at the scope of standards, okay, with higher Indian potential here, there is a greater scope of setting better standards than the existing ones globally by bringing in better ideas and standardizing them. We just need good intent, transparency, commitment to reach higher standards than the existing global. Periodic inspections should be in place to monitor abidance to these standards with documentation for future action and follow-up. यहाँ मैं आपको एक चीज ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि हमारे पास वहां पर I'm just giving you an example, as I told you in my this thing. अब हम इससे बेटर स्टैंडर्ड्स बना सकते हैं, ठीक है, लेकिन मैं आपको जस्ट एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ कि हम पर जो है ना रेगुलर इंस्पेक्शंस होती हैं जिसमें क्वालिटी देखी जाती है कि भाई हम किस तरह से जो है ना अपने इक्विपमेंट मेंटेन कर रहे हैं सर, क्लाइंट्स के साथ जो है ना मतलब लाइक उनके लिए किस तरह से जो है ना अपने फैसिलिटी को सेफ रखा है, वेल इक्विप्ड रखा है, और आपकी डिस्टेंसिंग इक्विपमेंट की क्या है, उन क्लाइंट की मूवमेंट के लिए उनको मतलब बराबर एरिया है या नहीं है, इक्विपमेंट के बीच में की डिस्टेंसिंग क्या है, और एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा। तो बेसिकली ये सिर्फ इंस्पेक्शन नहीं होती बल्कि डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होती है कि जो जो चीजों की मतलब जो इंस्पेक्शन के टाइम पर जो चीजें उन्होंने नोटिस किए हैं तो वो चीजों को वो लोग लिस्ट करके फिर बेसिकली फ्यूचर एक्शन के लिए और फॉलोअप के लिए वो लोग खुद के लिए भी रखते हैं और जिम्स को भी या फिटनेस सेंटर्स को भी वो लोग अपनी ऑब्जर्वेशंस जो है ना देकर जाते हैं कि आपको इन ये ऑब्जर्वेशंस को जो है ना इस पर काम करना है। और फिर जब नेक्स्ट वो होती है इंस्पेक्शन होती है तो फिर उस पर फॉलोअप होता है कि उस पर क्या काम हुआ है, अगर नहीं हुआ तो 1 वार्निंग, 2 वार्निंग, 3 वार्निंग, उसके बाद फिर उनके अपने वो हैं पेनाल्टीज हैं जो पेनाल्टीज लगाते हैं वो लोग। तो ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है जिसमें सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स जो है ना हम ला सकते हैं, चाहे वो उसकी एक्सरसाइज प्रोफेशनल्स की हम लोग बात करें, सर्टिफाइड एक्सरसाइज प्रोफेशनल्स का नहीं होना, या जो है फैसिलिटी का जो है क्लाइंट की सेफ्टी का ध्यान नहीं करना, या हाइजीन जो है ना बराबर नहीं मेंटेन की गई उसका मसला है। तो सारी चीजों को जो है ना देखा जाता है। इवन बेसिकली मैं वो भी बताना चाहूंगा आप लोगों को कि इलेक्ट्रिकल रूम देखा जाता है कि इन केस ऑफ इमरजेंसी वो आपने रूम भी क्लियर रखा है या नहीं रखा है। तो व्हाट आई मीन इज मैं यहाँ पर आपको ये चीजें इसलिए मेंशन कर रहा हूँ कि ये अभी भी काफी एरियाज हैं जो मतलब जो सारे एक्सपीरियंस प्रोफेशनल्स है वो जानते हैं कि अभी भी काफी एरियाज है जहां पर उनको भी काम करने की जरूरत है। तो जहां की भी हम स्टैंडर्ड्स की बात करें वो कोई अल्टीमेट स्टैंडर्ड, लेकिन हम बहुत बेहतर स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं और हम उसके आगे भी काम कर सकते हैं बिकॉज हमारे पास पोटेंशियल है, हमारे पास मतलब नॉलेज है और विलिंगनेस है। जैसे CPI के वगैरह जो है ना जो आ रहे हैं अपना इंटरेस्ट जो है ना लेकर इसमें मतलब इंटरेस्ट बता रहे हैं, तो ये इससे हम काफी जो है ना फायदा उठा सकते हैं। वी कैन सेट बेटर स्टैंडर्ड्स। और स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन की हम जब बात कर रहे हैं तो बेसिकली ये जैसे ही सर्विसेज की वो होती है कि इंस्पेक्शन होती हैं और जैसे जैसे स्टैंडर्ड्स हम सेट करते हैं ये इवॉल्व होते रहते हैं स्टैंडर्ड्स, हमें पता चलता है विद द टाइम जो है ना कि और जो है ना आप अपनी स्टैंडर्ड्स को कैसे बेटर कर सकते हैं। और फिर वो आप स्टैंडर्ड जो है ना आपकी जो है वो है रेगुलेशंस है या एडवाइस है आप अपनी बेटर कर सकते हैं और फिर जो है इस तरह से जो है हमारे जो स्टैंडर्ड जो है इवॉल्व हो सकते हैं। और रही बात हमारी विलिंगनेस एज अ क्लाउड फिटनेस और दूसरे जो भी है, मेरा ख्याल है हर बंदा जो जिम चला रहा है वो मोर देन विलिंग होगा इसका हिस्सा बनने के लिए, क्योंकि इससे जैसा हम अभी डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि सिर्फ जिम की और जिम की ही इसके जिम ऑपरेटर्स की ही का बेनिफिट नहीं है बल्कि क्लाइंट को भी जो है ना मतलब क्लाइंट की सर्विस के तो वो बेटर हो सकती है, क्या कहते हैं आपको स्टैंडर्ड्स, जिससे आप बेटर टैरिफ भी रख सकते हैं अपने, और फिर बेटर आप जो है क्लाइंट को जो है वो प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं, सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं। तो हम लोग मतलब मैं स्पेशली बिकॉज आई कैन स्पीक ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ क्लाउड फिटनेस, सो आई कैन टेल यू दैट आई कैन we are willing to support this idea and serve this initiative in whatever capacity possible. तो ये उम्मीद करते हैं कि इस पर जो है ना कोई कॉन्क्रीट स्टेप होगा और इस पर काम होगा, और उम्मीद करते हैं कि जिम सर्विसेज जो है बेटर होंगी इंडिया में, जिम के वो मतलब क्या कहते हैं आपको, जिम्स बेटर होंगे, जिसकी सर्विसेज बेटर होंगी इंडिया में in the future. So once again, thank you all for the this thing, for your time, and over to the host. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, sir, to enlighten us about the global perspective of standardization in gym services. Next, I would like to welcome Ms. Ann Thomas. Ms. Ann is CEO of Nucleus Fitness Center, managing it from the time of its inception, to designing workout routines, diet counseling, physiotherapy, sports conditioning, and conducting groups classes for Zumba, bench aerobics, Pilates, boot camp, functional training, circuit training, insanity, Tabata, cardio, kickboxing, etc. She also involved in conducting training modules for personal trainers. Ma'am, over to you.
Good afternoon, all the respected dignitaries and the members and the participants present. I'm Ann Thomas, as mentioned. I'm CEO of Nucleus Fitness Center, Pune. I am in this fitness industry since 2004. Set up and managed 5 fitness centers earlier, and now set up my own in 2019. Before setting up into this, stepping into the world of fitness, I was an art and craft teacher for 18 years, teaching in various stations, army schools, convent schools, basically from an army background. Today, I feel privileged to be sitting here and listening to the points of Gurneet and Mr. Khan. And I think we all have similar thoughts on standardization. When we are here to discuss the importance of standardization, what exactly do we refer to the standardization of gyms? Like, again, the points are quite similar. When we set up a gym, it is very easy, at least in our country, to set up a gym. Setting up a kirana store or a medical store or even a pawn shop is much more complicated and difficult than setting up a gym. Anyone can set up a gym. Jagah honi chahiye, you look for a financer and your gym is set up. There is no license required at the most, a Shop Act license. There is no license, otherwise anything else required to set up any gym industry in our country. There is no specific rules and regulations, no mandatory requirements. कुछ भी कहीं भी आप सेटअप कर सकते हो. So when we have a standardization, we have to start from the very start. कि like medical shop खोलना है तो you need a trained, certified, proper person who will have the license to start a medical shop. Same is with the food industry. They have 1,000 checks, they have 1,000 inspections. They don't have any checks or inspections. No specific area, no specific कितना minimum area होना चाहिए, क्या minimum equipments होने चाहिए, equipments का inspection, do they meet the requirements, all that, nothing is mentioned. So a standardization will ensure that a license, we should have issue a license to open a gym. A license will be issued only if these particular XYZ requirements are fulfilled. Now again, setting up a gym and running it. Who's running the gym? Anyone is eligible. It can be a person who has been a skinny, lanky person और उसने अपना body transformation कर लिया. Oh, he is a good trainer. He can run a gym. He can manage a gym. And he will become the best personal trainer. या फिर मैं 6 महीने जिम मारता था, मेरे को तो सब पता है. That is the qualification of the trainers here. He will train the gym, he will train members, he will run the gym, and he will even give a diet counseling. Diet counseling means खाना पीना बंद करो, supplements. Protein low, zinc low, ये low, वो low, it's all full of tablets and supplements. So again, rules and regulations should be there. Who is eligible? A minimum qualification, a minimum experience, more than qualification, experience. How experienced is the person, how qualified is the person has to be seen before setting up a gym. The third point, again, I will like to mention are the machines. We have, by machines, I don't mean that we all have a branded machine or imported machines also. In our country also, we have companies making very good machines. The biomechanics of the machine should be right. Here, that means right motion, force, momentum, levers, and the balance. Here again, standardization is needed where the manufacturing of these machines are concerned. I don't know how it is in Delhi, at least here in Pune, we have multiple factories making gym machines. Maybe इधर उधर से second hand machines उठा लेते हैं, उसी को refabricate करते हैं, और there is no angle, the importance of the angle or the structure is not given. It is okay, like press, ऐसा है, that's it, the machine is there. Which people buy, I really don't blame the people who buy, because when you're starting a gym with a small budget, they do go and look up these cheap machines and set up the gym. And the people going there are not aware that a wrong machine, not structured properly, gives you injury more than anything. And so many people who come to our gym saying, वो वाला जब मैं ये मारा था उससे मेरा बैक का प्रॉब्लम शुरू हो गया और शोल्डर का प्रॉब्लम शुरू हो गया. वी डिड अ शोल्डर प्रेस इन दैट मशीन एंड शोल्डर का प्रॉब्लम शुरू हो गया. सो मशीन्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट एंड दे हैव टू बी some standardization ki bhai, I think the companies that make it should get a license to make the machines. Trainers, again, without trainers we cannot run a gym. Most important component, and as Gurneet said, skilled manpower ki कमी बहुत है. We don't have trainers who are qualified, and most important, we don't have many trainers who are passionately into this line. It is, most of the trainers are 10th pass, 12th appear किया है. You ask them what is your qualification, अभी graduation के लिए appear किया है, third year के लिए appear किया है, that appear किया है, even 10 years they are only appearing for it. Education makes a difference in anybody's outlook in life. So trained trainers who are passionately interested in this line, बहुत कमी है. We have trainers जिनके पास और कुछ करने को नहीं था, चलो जिम का ट्रेनिंग ले लेते हैं. Again, certifications, as Gurneet mentioned, is available online at a very cheap rate. सर्टिफिकेशन का मतलब उनका सिर्फ एक सर्टिफिकेट होता है कि हाँ मैं सर्टिफाइड हूँ. अदरवाइज किसी बॉडी शो में पार्ट लिया, मैंने बॉडी बिल्डिंग किया हुआ है, अदरवाइज मैं तो ये था पहले और ये था, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो गया है या किसी का ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन किया है, सो आई एम अ ग्रेट ट्रेनर. That is not the requirement in a trainer. They have to be passionately interested. They have to be interested in transforming, in promoting the health and fitness, and in educating the member regarding the health and fitness. They cannot hook the member on कि भाई आप हमेशा personal training ही लोगे. You have to educate the members what is wrong and what is right and how it is done and why it is important. That is, I tell my trainers that you all are gurus. तुम लोग गुरु हो, so that respect has to be maintained, and that respect the members should give you, treat them like that. And I think maybe I'm from a teaching background, that's why I feel trainers are gurus. They have to be respected. They have to earn that kind of respect from members. You cannot tell the trainers, eh, बोले क्या, वो डंबल चढ़ा, ये कर, वो. That is the kind of treatment some of the members give trainers. Again, if they are educated, if they are trained, if they are passionate, they will know how to handle these kind of clients. They will know how to demand respect out of them. Trainers एक बार certification हो जाए तो it is not that it's enough. They have to keep upgrading their knowledge. They have to keep doing more courses, upgrade themselves ki what is new, what is not required, things change. हमारे इसमें नहीं होने से भी abroad, the studies, the amount of importance they give to health and fitness industry, they should keep following up them and keep watching them, keep reading out and upgrading their knowledge. Trainers का training के लिए भी in our country, I don't think there are many institutions. I know of FSSA who is doing very good and a few others. But again, a gym, if it is running for few years, they are qualified, they are, they have all the authority to train trainers. The person who's training the trainers may be again a bodybuilder in a hardcore gym, जिसने some body should ये क्या होगा? He's the one who's training the trainers, and trainers are also very happy. I was trained under so and so. वो पुणेश्वरी थे, वो something else थे. So they don't understand कि जिम ट्रेनर का एजुकेशन या जिम ट्रेनर का ट्रेनिंग में इट इज नॉट ओनली कि बाइसेप कैसे मारना है या ट्राइसेप कैसे मारना है. A lot of other things are included in the syllabus, which the few good institutions are doing it. So I think in standardization, we have to have a standardization of institutions also. A set syllabus, a trainer should have this basic minimum qualification, firstly, to become a trainer. A 10th pass who does not understand anything in science, how is he to understand anything of the training module? So that minimum qualification of a trainer is needed before getting in any of the institutes for training. Again, standardization will help in giving us set rules for these training establishments, because again, a fitness industry ka is related to the training establishments also and the machine manufacturing companies also. So these two also need standardization. We are in a service industry and promoting fitness and health should be our motto. But unfortunately, anyone sets up a gym, their primary aim, their motto is paise banana. I was helping one of my friends set up a gym, a Sky Fitness in Banir. So his dialogue was, we have to give the best service. Profits are the byproducts. It really hit me. I said, yes, that is what we have to give. We have to give the best service, promote health and fitness. Profits are the byproducts. हम service अच्छा देंगे, तो we have members coming in, we have members renewals. Any gym ka, if you have to gauge your standards, if you have to gauge your service, how good or bad you really have to look at how many renewals have happened in your gym. If your members are renewing constantly without break, if you are having members, old members continuing, that means your services are good. Otherwise, you are thriving only on marketing, कि ठीक है, और new members लो and पुराने members को भूल जाओ. So what? They have paid. Forget it. Let's focus on getting marketing and getting new members. Let's focus only on promoting PT, which again, I don't think should be the motto of all the gyms. Promoting PT, we promote PT only if there is a medical condition or if the client needs to lose weight fatafat, or he has got short-term goals, yes, then we promote PT. Otherwise, gym trainers are there on the floor to help, guide, and educate the clients to move on. They should not be hooked on, they should move on. They should know what is good, they should know how to exercise. Tomorrow, if there are no trainers, they should know कि क्या करना है और कैसे करना है. Check the form, keep correcting on the form. So again, service comes here. Service में cleanliness, a very important part. Be in the washroom. Any gym का cleanliness, you go to the washroom and check out there, you know कितना साफ है वो gym. The cleanliness starts from the washroom, and that's the most important part where everybody lacks. Especially gyms में that is not considered important at all. There are gyms without a washroom and a changing room also. Washroom होना बहुत जरूरी है, and it has to be kept clean. Not necessarily you have to have a very big washroom, depending on the space that available. It is important that you maintain it, have it, and maintain it. Other gym services is taking a follow-up. If members are not coming for some time, please take a follow-up. कि भाई क्यों नहीं आ रहे हो? If they are not well, take a follow-up again. What has happened? All these services, keeping it clean and neat, especially in this pandemic area, pandemic time, wiping the machines, cleaning the machines, keeping the facility clean is very important. Again, standardization, like Mr. Khan said, like they have inspections in Dubai. I think we also should have such surprise inspections where people come randomly without informing and check on the facilities. If proper standardization is maintained, if proper inspections are maintained time to time, I don't think tomorrow, if there is a pandemic, they'll say gym is the first place to close down क्योंकि वहाँ पे touch points बहुत है. अगर touch points बहुत है तो भाई clean भी है. That is what we have to keep saying. Touch points बहुत है, agreed. But then again, it is being cleaned also, it is being maintained also. The biggest challenge of all these standardization is finance. Finance in investing, finance in the term of fees, the fees that we charge. Because here people will invest on food, on shopping, and going to malls, but when it comes to paying a good fees in the gym, they bargain. नहीं, कम करो, इतना क्या है, इतना क्या है. I tell them, when you go to a doctor, you don't bargain on the rates, on the fees of the doctor. जो बोलते हैं करते हैं. हॉस्पिटल में जाते हो, हॉस्पिटलाइज हो जाते हो, यू वांट द बेस्ट हॉस्पिटल, यू वांट ये भी दे दो, वो भी दे दो, ऐसे भी चाहिए, सब चाहिए, यू वांट एवरीथिंग द बेस्ट. देन व्हाई जिम यू डोंट वांट बेस्ट? व्हाई इज इट दैट यू कांट पे फॉर द बेस्ट सर्विसेज? अच्छी चीज और सस्ती चीज में फर्क होता है. दिस इज माय स्टेटमेंट टू ऑल दीज क्लाइंट्स. So awareness in the people also is a must. And if we have a standardization, I think this awareness will rub on to them also, because standardization होने से we can also quote according to the standards of the gym industry, we are having all this and we are maintaining all this. तो बॉस, अच्छी चीज और सस्ती चीज में फर्क तो होता ही है. So I'm very happy that standardization ka thing has come into the mind, and Gurneet, congrats to you. And I really hope that it takes off and we, like any other industry in the country, have some standard protocol and we have one body representing the whole country's gym. Like abhi pandemic mein iske liye there was no one representing gym industry. There are 1000 associations, there are 1000 groups formed. Every beta has a group कि हम represent करेंगे, but there was no unity among किसी में भी कि भाई हम एक साथ होके represent करते हैं. That is very much lacking, and I think standardization हो जाएगा तो that also can come under the standardization procedure. कि what association, what groups are you making? If you are making an association or if you are making a group, again, it has to be registered. A very important thing. I think rest everything is covered by Gurneet. I have just put up my points. Thank you so much. and hope and waiting for some progress in this field. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, thank you, ma'am, for expounding us about the challenges in standardizing gym services. Next, I would like to welcome Mr. Tehseen Zahid. Mr. Tehseen currently is the CEO for Sports and Fitness Sector Skill Council and has been working in skill development sector for last 15 years at various senior level positions. The total professional experience is more than 24 years. The rest 9 years he has spent in the retail and manufacturing sector. He has worked as a founder of CEO for Grass Education Limited and has been advisor to various organizations like CAP Foundation, Lohia Corp Limited, Cafe Coffee Day, etc. Mr. Tehseen, over to you.
Thank you so much for this quick and a lovely detailed introduction. In fact, and I am so thankful to Bureau of Indian Standard for setting up this theme of the conference. और मैं आप सभी लोगों का बहुत ही दिल से और शुक्रिया भी कहना चाहूँगा क्योंकि जो आज आपने समस्या के ऊपर बात कर रहे हैं, the problems that we are talking about has been persistent in the society and in the Indian fitness sector for many years. तो जब मैं ये कहता हूँ कि many years से ये प्रॉब्लम थी और आज तक इसका कोई समाधान नहीं मिल रहा था, तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्किल डेवलपमेंट ने जब स्पोर्ट्स और फिटनेस सेक्टर स्किल बनाई तो उसके साथ फिक्की और एनएसडीसी को ज्वाइंट एफर्ट डाला गया। तो जो स्पोर्ट्स सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल बनाई गई वो बनाई मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्किल डेवलपमेंट ने है और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स का हमारा सपोर्ट होता है जो भी हम करते हैं। फिक्की इसको प्रमोट करती है और एनएसडीसी के गाइडलाइंस और एसओपी के हिसाब से जो हमारा नेशनल काउंसिल ऑफ वोकेशनल एजुकेशन एंड ट्रेनिंग है वो इसको गवर्न करता है। दिस इज एन ऑटोनॉमस बॉडी which function under Ministry of Skill Development and Ministry of Sports. तो ये छोटा सा मैं इंट्रोडक्शन देना चाह रहा था कि ये पूरा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या है और कैसे काम करता है। आई एम अ प्रोफेशनल सीईओ जिसको हायर किया गया इसको रन करने के लिए और आई कम फ्रॉम अ स्पोर्ट्स बैकग्राउंड एंड अ बिट ऑफ फिटनेस बैकग्राउंड along with the skill development and education as my core work in my previous organization. तो अभी तक के जितना भी मैंने सुना गुरनीत दुआ जी से, मिस्टर खान से और थॉमस मैम से, उससे ये चीज बड़ी क्लियर है कि इस इंडस्ट्री को एक सर्टिफिकेशन कह लीजिए या एक स्टैंडर्ड्स कह लीजिए, एक प्रोसेसेस कह लीजिए, एक ओवरऑल नेटवर्क, एक ओवरऑल एक ढांचे की बहुत जरूरत है। क्योंकि जब हमारा डिस्कशन होता है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स में, अभी रिसेंटली भी वी हैव डिस्कस दिस प्रॉब्लम विद आवर ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर श्री अनुराग ठाकुर जी, and we have come to a conclusion that very soon the government should come and start the process of certifying and standardizing the gyms and the people who are working there. उसकी सबसे बड़ी वजह ये है कि जो जिम एक एरिया है या फिटनेस सेंटर, चाहे वो एरोबिक सेंटर्स हो, चाहे वो जुम्बा हो, पिलाटे हो, ये सब जो है वो एक पब्लिक प्लेस है। बेसिकली इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ पीपल देयर और वहां का अगर स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन नहीं कर पाएगी गवर्नमेंट, और अगर गवर्नमेंट नहीं करेगी तो और कौन करेगा, सबसे बड़ी बात ये है। तो इस सब को मद्देनजर देखते हुए और इनफैक्ट जब हम लोगों ने फिट इंडिया मिशन भी लॉन्च किया था, हम तब से इसको वर्कआउट कर रहे हैं और ऑब्वियसली बीच में कोविड है और इस सब की वजह से चीजें थोड़ी डिले जरूर हो रही हैं, बट वी आर वर्किंग वेरी सीरियसली ऑन ब्रिंगिंग द इंटायर एसओपीज एंड स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन। इसके लिए एक संस्था भी क्रिएट कर दी गई है जिसको हम बोलते हैं इंडियन रजिस्टर ऑफ एक्सरसाइज फैसिलिटीज, आईरेफ। इसका फॉर्मेट भी रेडी हो गया है। कुछ इनिशियल जिम्स ने हमें अप्लाई भी किया है सर्टिफिकेशन लेने के लिए, उनका प्रोसेस चल रहा है उनको सर्टिफाई करने के लिए। तो जो ये प्रोसेस है इसमें सबसे पहले मैं एक बात शुरू करूंगा आप लोग को कि जैसे थॉमस मैडम ने कहा कि she comes from an education background and she feels that the trainers who are in the gym need to be the most important person to be certified. I agree to that what she said कि एक ह्यूमन बॉडी इंटरवेंशन है ये। देखिए आपको कोई भी अनसर्टिफाइड आदमी इंजेक्शन नहीं लगा सकता। वो नर्स होना चाहिए जिसने 4 साल का कोर्स किया हो और अंडर नर्सिंग कॉलेज से जो रजिस्टर्ड होता है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से, जब तक उसके पास वो सर्टिफिकेट नहीं है वो कोई भी आदमी ऐसे इंजेक्शन नहीं लगा सकता और ह्यूमन बॉडी के साथ इंटरवीन नहीं कर सकता। और जो फिटनेस है it's a kind of human body intervention that what we have come to a conclusion on after various discussions in the ministry and various discussions with the stakeholders and fitness industry people like Gurneet Dua or Dronacharya ji or in fact K11 fitness organization Kaizat Kapadia ji and many other people who have been associated in this industry for many years. तो आप किसी भी इंसान को कैसे अपनी बॉडी को उसके हवाले कर सकते हैं बिना ये समझे, बिना ये जाने कि उसका बैकग्राउंड क्या है और उसने खुद क्या पढ़ाई की है या उसके पास कौन सा सर्टिफिकेट है। स्पोर्ट्स काउंसिल क्योंकि नहीं थी 2017 से पहले वो वर्क नहीं कर रही थी, इसलिए क्या हुआ कि ये इंडस्ट्री की तरफ से ही एक सर्टिफिकेशन का प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट कर दिया गया और जो कि ठीक है, मतलब क्योंकि वहां पे कोई चीज अवेलेबल नहीं थी तो क्या करेंगे लोग, तो बहुत सारी प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूट्स वगैरह ने अपने खुद के सर्टिफिकेट क्रिएट किए और खुद के कोर्सेज भी चलाए और अच्छे हैं। और मैं ये नहीं कहता कि कोई गलत है, बिल्कुल अच्छे हैं और बहुत बढ़िया काम किया है इंडस्ट्री के लोगों ने इसमें। उन सबको साथ में लेके जब हम लोग ने बनाना शुरू किया तो हम लोग की कुछ क्वालिफिकेशंस बन के निकली। फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको थोड़ा समझाना चाहता हूँ कि हाउ डज गवर्नमेंट वर्क। द गवर्नमेंट ने एक एनएसक्यूएफ का फ्रेमवर्क तैयार किया मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एचआरडी के अंडर में, विच इज कॉल्ड नेशनल स्किल क्वालिफिकेशन फ्रेमवर्क। इस एनएसक्यूएफ में अलग अलग लेवल्स होते हैं। लेवल 2 से स्टार्ट होता है और ये लेवल 13 तक के दिया गया है, जहां पे लेवल 4 इज अ स्किल सर्टिफिकेट। उसके बाद जैसे लेवल 5 और 6 7 पर जब आदमी पहुंचेगा तो वो इक्विवेलेंस हो जाएगा उसका बीवॉक से, यानी कि बैचलर डिग्री उसका इक्विवेलेंस होगा। इन द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एचआरडी इट विल बी कॉल्ड एन इक्विवेलेंस टू बैचलर डिग्री, और किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ मिलके वो बैचलर डिग्री अचीव कर सकता है। तो जैसे सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल ने अभी कुछ यूनिवर्सिटीज के साथ टाई अप किया और वी हैव जस्ट गोइंग टू स्टार्ट बीएससी इन फिटनेस साइंसेज एज अ कोर्स। तो वो एक प्रॉपर डिग्री प्रोग्राम है फिटनेस के बारे में। इट इज द फर्स्ट काइंड इस कंट्री में ये चीज हो रही है। सिमिलरली अगर वो लेवल 9 तक के पढ़ाई करता है तो ही इज कॉल्ड अ पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट इन फिटनेस साइंसेस एंड फर्दर ऑन, एंड ही कैन आल्सो गो टू अ लेवल ऑफ अ पीएचडी डॉक्टरेट इन फिटनेस। सो ये करियर प्रोग्रेशन भी बनाया गया है। इसलिए बनाया गया कि वी वांट कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग इस सेक्टर में आए, फिटनेस और स्पोर्ट्स में, और एक प्रॉपर डिग्री प्रोग्राम की तरह जैसे आप बीकॉम बीए बीएससी करते हैं वैसे ही आप बीवॉक करिए फिटनेस में या स्पोर्ट्स में और उसको एक करियर की तरह आगे लिया जाए। अभी लेटेस्ट आप लोग ने सुना होगा नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में चेंज हुए हैं and they have got a major changes which has come to national education policy. उसके हिसाब से skill development या skill courses are going to be mandatory as a part of school curriculum now. From class 6 till class 12 they will become a part of the syllabus. और जो उसका सर्टिफिकेट होगा it will be as good as a normal 10th and 12th certificates for government job, for various applications, for graduation. So skill education will come into the main education system of the country very soon with this NEP coming into force. अब जो NCVT है, नेशनल काउंसिल फॉर वोकेशनल एजुकेशन, ये एपेक्स बॉडी है फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हु कंट्रोल्स द क्वालिटी, कंटेंट एंड द सर्टिफिकेट्स। उसके अंडर में अलग अलग सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल्स हैं जो एक एग्जामिनेशन बॉडी की तरह काम करती हैं। अभी जैसे आई थिंक किसी ने बोला कि ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स का पैरामीटर्स होने चाहिए फॉर एग्जांपल। तो जब अगर आप लोग कोई भी एसपीएफएल या स्पोर्ट्स काउंसिल के साथ एफिलिएट होना चाहेंगे तो आपको उसके पैरामीटर्स पूरे करने पड़ेंगे। देयर आर रिटन गाइडलाइंस कि आपका इंस्टीट्यूट कितना बड़ा होगा, कैसा होगा, उसमें कितने सिस्टम्स लगे होंगे और आपको किस कोर्स के बारे के लिए एफिलिएशन मिल रहा है। और इसके लिए आपको नेशनल स्किल डेवलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन विच इज एनएसडीसी, उसकी वेबसाइट है एसआईपी के नाम से, उस पे आपको अपना ट्रेनिंग सेंटर रजिस्टर करना पड़ता है, विच इज नॉट एन इजी टास्क। वी अग्री इट इज नॉट एन इजी टास्क बिकॉज वी हैव टू कंट्रोल द स्टैंडर्ड्स। We all are well aware of our honorable PM's dream of making India the skill capital of the world. ये एक हम लोग का थॉट है और ये स्किल कैपिटल तभी बन सकता है जब हमारे स्टैंडर्ड्स जो है वो इंटरनेशनल लेवल के हो किसी भी चीज में, चाहे वो फिटनेस हो, चाहे स्पोर्ट्स हो, चाहे इवन मोटरसाइकिल मैकेनिक जो है वो भी एक इंटरनेशनल सर्टिफिकेशन लेवल पे नहीं पढ़ाई करेगा तो उसकी बाहर जॉब नहीं लग सकती। उसको देखते हुए स्पोर्ट्स सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल ने ई रेप्स और आईसी रेप्स दोनों से एमओयू साइन किया। और आज की डेट में अगर इंडिया से कोई भी बच्चा ई रेप्स या आईसी रेप्स का सर्टिफिकेट करना चाहता है तो उसको पहले स्पोर्ट्स सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल का लेवल 4 सर्टिफिकेट क्वालिफाई करना पड़ेगा। दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ एमओयू दैट हैज बीन डन बाय स्पोर्ट्स सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल। अब हम बात आते हैं, ये तो हो गया ट्रेनर की, क्योंकि प्रॉब्लम कहां पर आती है सबसे बड़ी कि आप जिम तो 5-3 करोड़ रुपए लगा के लगा सकते हो, लेकिन उस जिम का फायदा तब होगा जब आपका क्लाइंट हैप्पी होगा। क्लाइंट तभी हैप्पी होगा जब उसको रिजल्ट दिखेंगे। उसको रिजल्ट देने वाला कौन है? उसको रिजल्ट देने वाला आपका ट्रेनर है। मेन चीज आती है कि आपका जो ट्रेनर है क्या वो इतना पढ़ा लिखा या क्वालिफाइड या उतना उसके अंदर में नॉलेज है कि वो आपके क्लाइंट्स का सेटिस्फैक्शन लेवल बढ़ा सके। इट इज अ सर्विस इंडस्ट्री जैसा सबने कहा, और सर्विस इंडस्ट्री ओनली वर्क ऑन क्लाइंट सेटिस्फैक्शन। इफ यू डोंट हैव रिपीट क्लाइंट्स कमिंग बैक, योर बिजनेस इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क। तो सबसे पहले हम लोगों ने काम किया सर्टिफिकेशन ऑफ जिम ट्रेनर्स। ये सर्टिफिकेट्स अलग अलग लेवल पे हैं, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम फिटनेस ट्रेनर, देन गोइंग टू पर्सनल ट्रेनर, ग्रुप फिटनेस ट्रेनर, even certificate for gym managers. We have created a course which is approved by government, और इस कोर्स को करने के बाद आपको गवर्नमेंट का सर्टिफिकेट मिलता है which is a registered certificate. पहले काम इस पे किया गया। साथ ही में हम लोग ने काम शुरू किया जिम्स की स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन पे। तो इसका बहुत सारा वर्क हमने यूरोप एक्टिव के साथ मिलकर किया। उनकी गाइडलाइंस और पॉलिसीज को काफी हमने स्टडी किया और कुछ इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर्स के साथ मिलके, फॉर एग्जांपल एफएसएसए है, एफएसएसए इज अ इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल, उसके साथ गोल्ड जिम है और इसके अलावा भी कुछ और जिम चेन्स हैं। इनके साथ मिलके और यूरोप एक्टिव के साथ मिलके वी हैव क्रिएटेड द गाइडलाइंस, वी हैव क्रिएटेड द इंटायर प्रोसेस, और उस प्रोसेस को हमने इंडियन रजिस्टर ऑफ एक्सरसाइज फैसिलिटीज के नाम से स्टार्ट किया है। अभी इट हैज बीन जस्ट लॉन्च्ड अराउंड 15-20 डेज बैक ओनली, एंड उसके लिए जिम्स अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद उनका ऑडिट होगा, उनको वो गाइडलाइंस फॉलो करनी पड़ेंगी। और उसमें सबसे बड़ी बात है, जो कुछ क्वेश्चंस अभी बीच में उठे थे कि कितना बड़ा होना चाहिए, कितनी मशीन्स होनी चाहिए। कोई फॉर एग्जांपल एक 5 स्टार जिम है और एक छोटा सा जिम है जो कि आपके शायद कॉलोनी में है, क्या वो दोनों को सर्टिफिकेट मिल सकता है? क्या दोनों सर्टिफाई हो जाएंगे आईरेफ के अंडर में? तो उसके लिए उसके अंदर पूरा डिफरेंशिएशन बनाया गया है। There are some star ratings starting from 3-star, 4-star and 5-star. It is some similar to your hotel industry concept कि जिसकी जितनी facilities हैं उसको उस स्टार की रैंकिंग मिल जाएगी आईरेफ के अंडर में, और आप आईरेफ की वेबसाइट पे आपकी लिस्टिंग होगी, साथ में जो हमारा गूगल मैप है जो हम गूगल करते हैं उसके ऊपर आपका आईरेफ के नाम से पॉपअप स्टार्ट होएगा, आईरेफ सर्टिफाइड जिम या आईरेफ जिम करके, और उसके अंडर में आपका डिटेल होगा। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपका जिम का नाम एबीसी जिम है तो जो गूगल पे देखेगा वो देखेगा आईरेफ सर्टिफाइड एबीसी जिम इन कैनॉट प्लेस, समथिंग लाइक दैट। तो वो पूरा सिस्टम क्रिएट किया गया है, और इसके लिए आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू everyone. In fact, the entire industry has come forward and supported this initiative. इससे ये पता चलता है कि इंडस्ट्री खुद भी वाकई में ये चाहती है कि इस इंडस्ट्री का पूरा स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन किया जाए, और उससे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा कि एक जब कोई क्लाइंट जाता है, ऐसे आप अज्यूम कीजिए कि जब कोई क्लाइंट जाता है तो वो जाके किस चीज पे भरोसा करता है जिम में, वो भरोसा करता है फीडबैक पे, या तो उसको किसी फ्रेंड ने बताया होगा वर्ड ऑफ माउथ कि आप इस वाले जिम में चले जाओ बहुत बढ़िया जिम है, या वो खुद जाके देखेगा चलो एसी चल रहा है यहाँ पे, अच्छा बड़ी शानदार चमकती भी मशीनें लगी हुई हैं यहाँ पे, लेकिन उसको ये नहीं पता कि जो मशीनें लगी हैं क्या वाकई वो रेलेवेंट मशीनें हैं, जो 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 बंदा उनसे बात कर रहा है क्या उसको वाकई नॉलेज है इस चीज की कि मेरी मसल, फॉर एग्जांपल तहसीन जाहिद की मसल्स डिफरेंटली वर्क करेंगी फ्रॉम मिस्टर खान या फ्रॉम मिस्टर दुआ, क्या क्या जो आदमी सामने वहां पे खड़ा है उसको इतनी नॉलेज है इन चीजों की? तो इसको देखते हुए ये पूरा सिस्टम है, और इंडस्ट्री हैज कम फॉरवर्ड टू क्रिएट दिस सिस्टम, और मैं चाहता हूं कि आने वाले टाइम में बीआईएस इस चीज को और मेरे ख्याल से तेजी से काम करें इन चीजों पे, और जितना जल्द हो सके अगर इसका बीआईएस स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन करना चाहे तो स्पोर्ट्स काउंसिल ने जो पहले से काम कर रखा है और सारे पेपर्स रेडी हैं, हमारा डॉक्यूमेंट्स है, तो वो उसको भी अडॉप्ट कर सकता है। वी विल बी वेरी हैप्पी बिकॉज इट इज अ नेशनल प्रॉपर्टी, इट इज नॉट अ प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ एसपीएफएल। जो भी हम काम करते हैं इट बिकम्स अ नेशनल प्रॉपर्टी, तो वो सारी पब्लिक के लिए पूरी कंट्री के लिए अवेलेबल है यूज करने के लिए फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट। तो उसके लिए मैं आप लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आप जितना और इनपुट दे सकते हैं इसको और थोड़ा रोबस्ट बनाया जाए, एंड लेट्स ब्रिंग दिस फिटनेस इंडस्ट्री एट पार विद इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स। देखिए आज की डेट में हम साइलोज में काम नहीं कर सकते किसी भी हाल में। अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा फिटनेस ट्रेनर को दुबई में जॉब मिले, या उसको मिडिल ईस्ट की किसी और कंट्री में, या अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज में, या इवन यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में अगर उसको जॉब मिले, तो हमें उनके लेवल पे अपने लोगों को तैयार करना पड़ेगा। हम लोग ये नहीं कर सकते कि हम अपने लेवल को वहां फोर्स करें, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल। वी हैव टू क्रिएट दैट लेवल विच दे नीड, और वो तभी तैयार हो सकते हैं जब जिम्स भी स्टैंडर्डाइज हो जाए इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे, हमारा कंटेंट हमारा कोर्स इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे मैप हो जाए, और उसके बाद हम इस चीज को लेके आगे बढ़े। तो इन चीजों को मद्देनजर रखते अभी हमारे पास अराउंड 64 ट्रेनिंग पार्टनर्स हैं पूरे इंडिया में जो एसपीएफएल से रिकॉग्नाइज्ड हैं, और वो गवर्नमेंट के कोर्स रन कर रहे हैं फिटनेस में, और आने वाले समय में मुझे लगता है कि ये नंबर और बढ़ेंगे जैसे जैसे ये चीज लोगों को पता चलेगी। आई थिंक पीपल विल टेक इट फॉरवर्ड एंड अडॉप्ट इट। अभी कुछ जो बिग जिम चेन्स हैं दे हैव ऑलरेडी applied to us for certification, IRF certification, and we have started releasing the certificates very soon. In fact, I think in another 15-20 days, you will see the certificates of IRF being presented to gym owners and gym facilities across the country. और अगर उस IRF के साथ BIS जुड़े और BIS उसको अडॉप्ट कर ले तो वी विल बी वेरी हैप्पी। हमारा काम ही यही है कि हम कुछ क्रिएट करके और देश को समर्पित करते हैं। So with all these lines, I am so thankful to all of you for sparing your time today and listening to me patiently. Any questions or any connects that you want to make with Sports Council, you can easily send a mail to us, and we will be very happy to respond to your queries. So with this, thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to welcome Shri D. Santosh, Scientist C, Service Sector Department to BIS, to share the highlights of working draft on gym service requirements. Okay, I'll share the presentation.
Thank you, Shivam. And good afternoon to all the event speakers and the participants who have attended this important webinar on importance of standardization in gym services. Today, in my presentation, I will be covering on the highlights of initial working draft. As of now, we're working on service requirements for gyms. And this slide. Yeah, thank you. So these are the contents of the existing working draft, and I will be briefly explaining one by one in my presentation. And the contents are like we'll start with introduction, how this subject came into the committee of SSD5, and we have what is the scope at present, what is the scope we have mentioned in the document, and what are the specific requirements related to service, and what regarding staff safety training, registration process, and trainers competence, and what should be the gym ambience, code of conduct for personal training, and transparency issue, and personal data privacy and security of customers that has to be followed by the gyms. Next slide. Okay. So to start with, in BIS, there are total 14 technical departments in which looks after the standardization of products, test methods and system standards and terminology and dimensions, etc. But recently, BIS has started two departments which especially looks after the service sector aspects. There's SSD1, that is Service Sector Department 1, and Service Sector Department 2. Under Service Sector Department 2, there is one technical committee by name Health, Fitness, Sport Services Sectional Committee, SSD5, and this all comes under Service Sector Division Council. And this committee has approved the subject to formulate and service requirement standard on gyms. And this committee is chaired by Dr. Harshit P. Thakur. He is a professor and Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Earlier, he was the director of National Institute of Health Family Welfare. And this document is prepared in association with the FSC Council, and the draft title of the document is Gyms Service Requirements. And this is, as of now, the document is not exclusive, and a lot of modification has to be done. And this is just at present the document we have, and we will work on this document for further refinement. And next slide, please. And the section committee, as I mentioned, we had our fourth meeting in the month of January, that is on 14th. And we have constituted a panel to work on the working draft. And these are the members of the panel: Ms. Sifalika Goenka from BSFI. She is the convener. And we have Duva from FSCC Council, and Mr. Satish Kumar Seturaman from FSCC Council. And we have Mr. Siddharth Banerjee, Anush Satya, Mr. Binu Ashokan, and myself as a member secretary. Next slide. So this is the scope we have given to the existing document. This document specifies the minimum service requirements for the gym service providers. This includes the operational management, gym ambience, trainers competence, code of ethics, transparency issues, and personal data privacy, security of customers. This document is applicable to all the publicly accessible gyms where gym service for groups or individuals is delivered to all of its users. Next slide. So we'll move to the specific requirements related to services in the existing document. We have mentioned there are physical environment and safety resources, and training and trainers competency, and registration process. And now we will go one by one on this for service specific requirements. Next slide, please. So first, we will cover under physical environment and safety, the housekeeping and hygiene part. So many of the speakers in today's presentation, in that presentation, have given more importance to the housekeeping and hygienic part, considering the COVID-19 situation as of now. So we have included few points. Actually, these are the few points from the document which I felt important, and further we can add more points into this under housekeeping and hygiene. So one thing is the floor surfaces which were used in the gym shall be kept clean and suitable and appropriate for their intended use. and they shall be free from unmarked tripping or slipping of hazards. And there shall be a routine for cleaning and maintenance in accordance to the if there is any equipment that requires maintenance, that should be according to the manufacturer's instructions. And next is during cleaning and maintenance of the floor surfaces while in use by the users, potential hazards should be prevented and signages shall be provided. And one point is that the gym shall provide means to dispose the waste items in a hygienic and a sustainable way. Next slide, please. And five, we have given a provision of fire if there is any fire accident. So what are the things the gym has to take in mind? We have added. We have. These are the few points we have included in the document, that there should be a fire extinguisher placed around the premises, and there should be marked as fire point, and there should be fire escape routes and exits that should be clearly marked and the fire exit signs. And if a person discovers a fire, the alarm shall be activated, and the person who are not trained to tackle these kind of situations, they shall be proceeded safely to the assembly point where the escape routes, and no unauthorized person is to interfere while with any fire safety arrangements. And when coming to everyone is responsible for keeping fire routes and exits free from the obstructions, and avoid weather notices explaining the fire arrangements, and smoking shall be forbidden in the premises. Next, please. And these are the very important thing which the gyms has to be taken in mind. First is ventilation. They shall provide appropriate ventilation for the safety and comfort of the users, and there should be proper lighting also for the safely conducting the planned exercise, and noise level also they have to keep in mind while giving the service of the gym, and there should be the required mentioned decibels. And next, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. So we'll go to the next point on resources. That is on one of them is equipment. So any fault or defect piece of equipment is there, then there should be a concerned person to whom this has to be notified immediately. And machine equipment shall not be used until it has been repaired or safe to use again, and there should be a suitable trained individuals to use are permitted to use this equipment, and this shall only occur when they have trained to do so, and when supervision of the instruction will be provided. Next slide, please. Now, previous speakers were given stress on the training part of the staff also while in the gym service in the gym. So first thing is they should have the staff on the we'll go on equipment part. The staff shall have a comprehensive knowledge on how to use all the equipments in the gym safely and effectively, and they have to advise the customers on the correct procedures and stop any unsafe practices is done by the customers. And health and safety training, the management shall provide health and safety training so that employees can carry out their duties safely, and they shall provide first aid and CPR AD training to their staff. Next slide, please. So registration part, we have divided into two. One is for the gym registration, another is for client registration, and the gym shall have the necessary clearances or registration from the for proper running of the gyms. It may be clearance from police or industry specific, and if registrations that can be like facility registration, small scale industry registrations, like shops and establishment registration, service tax registration, and other licenses documents like labor licenses, service and luxury tax, music corporate, industry specific licenses. So as in which are these are some of the thing we have mentioned in the document. As and when required, the gym owners, gym management shall have take these clearances. Next. So now we move to the client registration part, and the facility shall have a client registration or enrollment or membership inquiry form to be filled by the client, and they shall also get a PARQ, like physical activity readiness questionnaire form filled by the client, and they shall also get an informed consent form filled by the client, and they shall do the basic assessment of the client's physical nature before start of any routines, and the client shall also be made aware of all the pricings and policies of all times, and thus information also be mentioned on their website. If they have any website, this also should be mentioned in their website, and they should give the proper receipt for the price paid by the client, and they have to make a progress tracker to monitor clients workout and physical through measurement progress. Next slide, please. So another important point for any gym is the ambience, and they should, as I mentioned earlier, they should provide proper accessibility through flooring, signages, along with the facilities, drawing, and structural, non-structural elements, and they shall plan and to be prepared for any issues related to hazards and technology, and they should also provide proper acoustics to serve the required groups, and they should have proper functional requirements like space, acoustical control, durability of structure, and the heating, ventilation, and air conditioner, which we call as HVAC, and daylights. Next, please. So we'll move to the another important point which we have covered in this document is trainers' credentials and reputations. So this trainer shall ideally have at least one professional qualification that can like a certified personal trainer, group exercise instructor, fitness trainer, specialty certification through through an accredited or recognized organization, and they shall accurately and clearly represent his or her certificate qualification when asked, and they shall charge accordingly to their competence, like his education, training, or skill, knowledge, experience, and next is to boost up the customers. They can also share the success stories, testimonials, and references, and they shall charge consistent pricing and administer procedural policies, and they shall never solicit business from any others trainers clients, and if the trainer works for a business that find clients and assigns them to them, they need to know and understand that the clients belong to that particular business. Next slide, please. So we have added how should be the trainer and client relationship in the gym. So the trainer shall be diplomatic with the client, and he shall maintain the client's confidentiality, and he shall never exploit sexually, economically, or otherwise a professional relationship with a colleague or a client. And the trainer shall be assertive and not argumentative with the client, and shall be guided by the best interest of the clients. Always you should guide. And the last point, which many speakers have told, that the trainer shall not diagnose or prescribe for therapies or products that are not benefit to of there are no benefit to the client. Next, please. So we have we have given code of performance for both trainer and the management, and the first we'll go we'll have the code of performance of the trainer. The first is that the trainer shall practice within the scope of their education and knowledge and expertise. And as I mentioned earlier, the trainer shall avoid discrimination based on race, sex, gender, color, religion, or any other basis that would constitute illegal discrimination. And he shall always dress appropriately in the gym, and shall speak to the client peers in an appropriate manner, and always uphold a professional image through conduct, and never misrepresent himself or herself through any form of communication in an untruthful, misleading, or deceptive manner. And you shall continuously strive to keep with the new developments, studies, methods, concepts, and practices essential to providing the highest quality services to the clients. And now we move to the code of performance uh, with respect to the management. The management of the gym shall ensure to promote good and ethical business practices, and they have to deliver health and exercise services with due care and skill, and they have to treat their customers fairly and resolve the customer disputes quickly and fairly, and they should keep the records in proper. And another important point we'll discuss in depth is the privacy of the customers, and the other important point is that they shall provide safe, clean, and hygienic, comfortable environment for clients and the staff, and they shall strive to operate an effective and sustainable business, and they have to aim to establish a quality improvement culture. So the gym shall have a transparency policy to this will actively encourage and fosters the stakeholder participation and openness in its decision making processes, and they shall be committed enough to educate clients towards self efficacy, and they shall create a feedback mechanism that allows people and stakeholders to answer authentically, and they shall set clear goals and expectations for its staffs and as well as its members. Yes, please. So the most important part we want to cover in this document is personal data privacy and security of the customers. So the management of the gym shall design a policy in such a way that it addresses all the provisions of protection of personal data privacy and security of the customers. And while designing the policy, the gym management can follow the given points I will now mention. Like first is they have to inform the customer how their personal information is collected and stored, and the policy also shall ensure that the personal information that was collected is accurate and complete and up to the date, and they have to also ensure that personal information is protected from misuse, loss, and from unauthorized access, modification, or disclosure. And the policy also clearly state with whom the data could or would be shared, and the policy also state how a customer can access and correct the personal information. Next slide. So this is a continuation. Also, the policy shall state disclosure of personal information to third parties as and when appropriate, and there shall be CCTV cameras and surveillance, and the policy also shall state details regarding the SMS, MS, email, and other modes of communication, if any, and the details about their website, social media, and digital online privacy obligations, and they shall also state the purpose why the collection, storage, and use of the disclosure of their personal information to the customers. So what we are expecting from the participants is that the participants having expertise on the subject may approach BIS to contribute in preparation of Indian standard, and any document including SOPs, published documents, research document may be shared with BIS to further improve the document and to contribute in the preparation of standard by providing comments during the wide circulation, which will be done in future. And thank you.
On this, I would like to add from the perspective of Bureau of Indian Standards. The contents shared with you in this PPT are taken from the draft which is prepared so far. This draft document is at a very initial stage. There may be many gaps needs to be filled and complete the document as a preliminary draft. There are different stages for preparation of Indian standards. So this first draft would be prepared by this the panel which is already constituted by the committee, technical committee SSD05. Mr. Dua is already a member in this. FSSA is having representation in that panel for preparing the first draft, and that will be moved to the committee to become a preliminary draft. That is called P draft. that would be circulated among the member organization of the technical committee. So, as I said, that this is at very initial stage. So, I would like to have more experts in the panel who can contribute in further improving the quality of the standard. So, I would request Mr. Suleiman Ali Khan, CEO, Cloud Fitness, Madam and Thomas, and Mr. Tehseen Jahid to be part of this panel and participate in in the meetings of the panel and give your comments, whatever we have prepared so far, so that this document can be further improved. I have a special request to Mr. Tahseen Jahid to please share the guidelines prepared for gym management, gym services with DIS, so that the document can be examined by the panel and the contents which are not there and important can be taken in the draft document to prepare the Indian standard on this. So if you give us the confirmation today, then we will be planning to have a panel meeting of experts after a week or so. So we can invite you also. So this request is from the delegates, participants, other participants also. If I've seen in a chat box, one of the requests from Dr. Nitin has come to us. He wants to contribute in preparation of this standard. Definitely, we will, call you for, to attend the panel meeting. Experts from all areas of gym services can contribute and make a document which is comprehensive and covering all aspects of gym services. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now the house is open for discussion. So if any questions from the participants, they can write in the chat box, and the speakers may invite those questions and answer them. There is one question from Ms. Manali Vora. What is your take on utilization of steroids illegally in gyms amidst bodybuilders? I request you, sir, to also set some standards on this, as it is a vital part of gym abuse. So, if any of the speakers interested in answering this question.
So, in this case, as per SPFL, IREF mandate, we will not be certifying any gyms or any fitness centers who would be in promotion of any kind of these hormonal things, or even those whey protein powders and everything. They can set up a shop, but that should be a separate entity, separate from the gym arena. That's the way we have defined, because we are not very sure about the outcome of the whey protein powders which have been there in the market, and there has been no certified protein powders as per now till from the Medical Council of India, neither from the FDA approval bodies. So that's why we are not taking them as a part of this gym approval systems. So that is from IREF mandate.
Okay, sir.
Another question which has come, I can see is there are two questions. How do we join IREF? And then another question is about 18% GST on gyms. These are the two questions which has come. I think this is important to address. So IREF, you can just go to the website and fill your application form, or you can contact the Sector Skill Council number, which is given there on the website. Then you can connect to us. Secondly, this 18% GST. So this is a very good and valid question that has come up, and I think we all, as an industry body, should look at this. Now, gym is considered obviously as a service, and service is 18%. But the yoga, which has come, yoga is basically been considered under GST from Ayush Ministry as a promotion of Indian culture concept. And that is why this GST has been exempted on yoga practices. So if a person is taking a yoga service from a yoga charya or a yoga guru, that is exempted from GST. But utilizing of a space with machines as a gym is considered to be a service. So that's why it has been exempted. But yes, under Fit India mission also, we all are trying to convince the GST Council that the taxes should come down, because then only we can promote Fit India mission as an entire healthy and fit nation. So let's see what comes out. It is too early to commit on that.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question from Mr. Manohar. How can we differentiate a gym and a fitness center and a rehabilitation center?
Shall I answer that? Or any other panelists want to answer? I can have some inputs there. So gym is typically considered worldwide with gym is with machines. That is an idea and concept of a gym. Fitness center can only be a hall with a rubberized flooring, and in case of Zumba or Pilates or dance fitness, you need to have some mirrors which has been defined as per the standards, with hand railings and small weight or dumbbell racks which are there. So that is defined as a fitness center. Fitness center can as a whole be called with gym also. So it is a very ambiguous word which we are using, fitness center. Fitness center is gym, swimming pool, area for Pilates or Zumba, even a kids playground with proper functional kid gym can also be termed as a fitness center. So there is no fixed parameters on that. That's the differentiator which has been there in the industry, and in fact worldwide this is the differentiator that people are taking it.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question from Mr. Yajur. There are numerous gyms around the corner, and the majority of the gym owners, trainers are so far aware of the standards that are being formulated. How do we intend to spread the awareness and seriousness of the issue in an effective manner?
Okay, thank you for the question. I think it's a very, very valid question. And like I mentioned in the beginning, this is not something which is going to be very easy. It's a humongous task, and obviously a huge representation and coming together of various stakeholders would be required, whether it's the exercise professionals, whether it's gym owners, whether it's the government, whether it's the right kind of bodies, etc., etc. The first step towards this is self-check. I also represent a body called Coalition of Exercise Professionals of India, having almost 28,000 trainers behind us, approximately 3,000 gyms with us. But the basic rule that we are going to be implementing is self-check. Standards can also only work if there is a self-check. And I think the second step is obviously either there is a huge amount of several crores of funding and advertisements with hoardings all over the place and with articles everywhere that as to what kind of gym should be and what kind of trainer should be. Obviously, that is not going to be possible and that's not going to be feasible and easy. So the education and awareness has to be brought in by people like you, person who asked the question, by the 100-odd members, by spreading this webinar across the social media. Social media is the power. 100 people attending on social media, multiplied by 5,000 contacts. The reach could be huge. So it should start with you. And in fact, Coalition of Exercise Professionals has also started a petition on change.org, which is gaining momentum. So these are just some of my thoughts. And of course, if someone wishes to add, they are more than welcome to do so. Thank you.
To the panelists and to all people here, I have to leave now. I have another meeting to attend at 1:30. But I will be very happy if anyone wants to ask anything, they can write a mail to BIS or they can send in the chat box. And I will request the BIS organizing committee if you can compile and send all the issues and challenges that people are facing and they want to have more knowledge. We'll be very happy to reply to all those mails and messages. So with that, I will like to take leave now. I'm sorry for this interruption in between but something urgent at 1:30 is already planned. So thank you all of you and thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful session.
Thank you, sir. From BIS, we thank you for contributing and giving time for this event. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so with this, we'll come to an end of our technical session. Now I request Mr. Umang Jaggi, Scientist B, Service Sector Department 2, for the closing remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the privilege to propose vote of thanks for the webinar. We have come to the end of the webinar, and it gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to all dignitaries who are assembled here and participated in this important event. To start with, we would like to thank Shri Sanjay Pant sir, Deputy Director General Standardization 2, BIS, for sparing time from his busy schedule to encourage and inspire all of us with his valuable inaugural address. We would like to thank Shri Gurneet Singh Dua ji, CEO FSSA Council, for enlightening us with the present scenario of gym industry, the importance of self-checking, and the benefits of standardization of gym services to both the clients as well as the gym owners. We are grateful to Mr. Suleiman Ali Khan sir, CEO Cloud Fitness, for briefing us about the inspections carried out globally in gym services. We would like to thank Ms. Annie Thomas, CEO Nucleus Fitness, for sharing her views about the role of trainers and the areas which require standardization in gym services. We would also like to thank Mr. Tehseen Zayed, sir, CEO SPEFLSC, for making us aware about the government initiatives for the betterment of gym services. We would like to thank Shri D. Santosh sir, Scientist C, Service Sector Department 2, BIS, for his presentation highlighting the working drafts of gyms which covered safety requirements, trainer competence, code of conduct, etc. We are very grateful to FSSA Council and Coalition of Exercise Professionals of India for providing today's eminent speakers and relevant stakeholders. As no program can become successful with a single person, I am thankful to all my colleagues for their support and contribution. Lastly, I would like to thank our beloved audience for making this event a grand success. Once again, thank you all for being present here. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.